Michael Jordan played 15 seasons in the National Basketball Association, and as a professional athlete, has been one of the most effectively marketed ones of all time. Jordan's talent, drive, and competitive spirit were instrumental in popularizing the NBA internationally during his years on the court. Let's move forward with our video and have a look at 10 crazy things you might not know about Michael Jordan. So, let's begin. Number 10. Beat a second draft pick one-on-one at the age of 50. "You may see me play the game at the age of 50, Michael Jordan said in his Hall of Fame speech. While he didn't exactly play pro basketball anymore, he did own a pro basketball team, the Charlotte Bobcats, now Hornets, in 2012. Jordan drafted Michael Kidd-Gilchrist with the second pick in the NBA draft, who was regarded as one of the best defenders in the class. Gilchrist played Jordan one-on-one in practice, and you would think that a 20-year-old second pick would defeat a 50-year-old man. Number 9. Worst three-point performance of all time. Despite the GOAT moniker many attached to his name, MJ was never a great three-point shooter. He did most of his damage from mid-range and attacking the basket, and when he scored 6 threes and a half during the 92 finals, even he was surprised, and shrugged game became a term 2 years before the shrug game. MJ decided it would be a good idea to participate in a three-point shooting contest. It was the first and last three-point shooting contest of his career, and for good reason. Jordan sank only 5 three-pointers during the competition, which remains the lowest score in NBA history. Number 8. Michael started drinking at 27 to battle insomnia. In the first episode of The Last Dance, Jordan describes how he knocked on the hotel door as a rookie, only to see his teammates do cocaine and smoke weed inside. MJ was straight as an arrow back then and never participated in those activities, and his only vice for juices and energy drinks, as he didn't even drink alcohol. That changed around 1990 when a doctor prescribed him a couple of beers before sleep because MJ was battling insomnia. From that moment, Jordan started drinking and not only falling asleep, it's on the record that he drank before games. Number 7. Number 23 is lucky for him. Jordan's number 23 is so iconic that other athletes in different sports sometimes choose that number simply because it's the same as Jordan's. He was number 23 in high school and college, as well as for his career with the Chicago Bulls. Only once did he wear another number when playing for them. On Valentine's Day in 1990, a thief stole his jersey from the locker room before the game. Jordan tried on a fan's replica jersey, but it was too small. The equipment manager found an extra jersey that only had a number and no name on it. He was number 12 for the night and still scored 49 points. Number 6. Michael's tongue wag came from his father. It's not easy to play sports or generally do things while your tongue is sticking out. This may seem counterintuitive to most people, but it was the norm in the Jordan family. While Michael's tongue wag was far more famous, MJ was not the originator. He stole it from his father. His late father, James, used to stick his tongue out when fixing things around the house, so young Michael copied this from him. Tongue sticking became a habit, and it soon became unnatural for Jordan to keep it inside his mouth. He said that he kept trying to wear mouth guards and tried to stop sticking his tongue out, but it was so ingrained in him that he couldn't stop anymore. Keep yourself tuned in as we discover 5 more such crazy facts. Hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you've yet not subscribed to the channel, do it now in order to make sure that you don't miss out on any future NBA content from now on. Number 5. Jordan as a cartoon hero. Michael Jordan was a cartoon superhero in a short-lived series called Pro Stars with Bo Jackson and Wayne Gretzky. It ran for 2 seasons in the early 1990s and featured the 3 sports stars saving the world from bad guys while living in a gym. The stars would do real-life questions and answers within the cartoon, although they did not voice the characters themselves. A few episodes can still be seen on YouTube. He's also mentioned in other movies such as Mike, about a boy who gets Jordan's old basketball shoes and magically starts playing basketball like him. Number 4. MJ's friend, the limo driver. His best friend is the limo driver that first picked him up when he moved to Chicago. In 1984, a 29-year-old George Kohler was a limo driver in Chicago. One of his first passengers on the job were none other than the 3rd pick in the NBA draft. He just arrived in Chicago for the first time. Soon, George became Jordan's driver, and if Jordan went anywhere, it was with George. He started forming a bond, and Kohler became one of Michael's best friends. Today, George is no longer driving a limo, but remains Michael's trusted confidant and consigliere. George's phones are filled with numbers of famous people, probably more than Michael himself, because if you're lucky enough to get in MJ's circle, he's still more than likely to shine. Number 3. Michael donated his entire Wizard salary. Michael donated his entire Wizard salary to 9/11 victims in November of 2001. 2 months after the biggest terrorist attack in modern history. Michael Jordan was preparing to lace them up again. He would unretire for the second time, and as a 38-year-old, would once again be an NBA player, this time in a Wizards uniform. Jordan was also part owner of the team, and he was the least paid athlete on the team with only $1 million salary. Now, since in paying yourself right, given the circumstances of 9/11 and the terrible aftermath for all families that lost their loved ones, Jordan decided to donate his entire salary to the victims and their families, and playing for free truly shows how much he loved basketball and how generous he could be at times. Number 2, punch Steve Kerr in practice. MJ pulled no punches when it came to training, literally. In 1995, during a Bulls practice, Jordan and Steve Kerr got into a scuffle that started when Phil Jackson called some ticky-tack fouls on Kerr, which Jordan thought was soft and counterproductive. Considering he's going to get fouled much harder in the playoffs, he wanted to express his feelings by example and fouled Kerr extra hard in the next possession. Steve Kerr was physically no match for Michael Jordan, but his fiery competitive side wouldn't be left behind. Steve shoved Jordan, and Jordan lost his temper and punched him in the face. Phil kicked Jordan out of practice, and Steve Kerr had a pretty significant black eye from the event. Jordan later apologized, and he and Steve Kerr had a good relationship. Ever since, Jordan trusted people who stood up to him, and this fight was a predecessor to one of the greatest moments in NBA Finals history in the 1997 Finals. Jordan trusted Steve Kerr with the final shot of the game, and Kerr flashed a game winner that would win the 5th championship for the Bulls. Number 1, Jordan originally wanted to sign with Adidas. Did you know that Jordan always looks at people's shoes the first time he sees them? And if they're not wearing Nike, he disapproves and often confronts people about it. While he's a Nike lifer and his Air Jordans bring him over $100 million every year, Jordan wasn't exactly enamored by the swoosh brand at first. At the time, Nike was known as a track and field brand and was never considered to be successful at making basketball shoes. Jordan badly wanted to wear Adidas, but they couldn't get the shoes ready for the start of the season. Converse also rejected Jordan, saying that they had already endorsed Magic and Bird. After his mother forced him to go to a meeting with Nike, they signed him for $2.5 million over 5 years, with the hope that they would sell $3 million worth of shoes. During his deal, Jordan was such a phenomenon that they sold $126 million in the first year alone. Michael Jordan is still one of the most famous athletes in the world, even after 2 decades. After his last championship, there are countless books, articles, and videos about MJ, and everybody knows about his 6 rings. So, what do you like most about Michael Jordan? Let us know your answers in the comment section down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you liked it, and do hit the subscribe button so you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.